Gymnastics mixed pairs. Round 1 has concluded, and while they tally the scores to determine the 8 teams to move back into round 2, we thought you'd like to meet Brandy Johnson, who has quietly been surprising the gymnastics world since she broke onto the scene 8 years ago. Frequently in the shadows of Phoebe Mills, it's time we introduced you to America's premier female gymnast.
Brandy here.
The 1989 American Cup was a first-place triumph in the all-around event for Brandy Johnson. Along the way, she picked up gold medals on the uneven parallel bars and in the floor exercise event. Not one to bask in the glory of achievements, this 15-year-old Floridian headed right back to the gym in preparation for this mixed pairs event and other international meets of 1989. Johnson trains at Altamont Springs. Her coach is Kevin Brown. This unassuming powerhouse posted the best American finish at the 1988 Olympics with her 10th place in the all-around. An experience that she and her mom relive with fondness.
I was ready to get back home after a while there.
4 years we talked about it, but gosh, just being there, it was really like a dream.
That plane trip was too long.
Too long? We enjoyed our trip. Of course, Daddy had his birthday, and then we had a party, so it was fun. We had the Taekwondo exhibition team. They were a lot of fun.
Yeah, the boxing team was fun because we got them to color. We had coloring books. They colored with us.
Oh, fun.
It's fun.
Brandy is trying to keep her international life in balance with life as a typical American teenager. She is in the 10th grade. Studies are a combination of classes, correspondence, and tutors. And in typical teenager fashion, the telephone plays a big...
How? Yeah? I got first. Thanks. What have you been up to? My friends call a lot, and we do things on the weekends sometimes, but most of my friends are usually from the gym, so we're all pretty close. And I have one of my friends that comes up and visits me from Fort Myers a lot. I like dancing music. I like to go to a dance club we have here in town. It's called Park Avenue. I like to dance a lot.
After 4.5 years with Coach Brown, Brandy trained just before the 1980 Olympics with Bella Caroli in Houston. Hope, sickness, and loyalty brought her back after just 4 months.
Mr. Brown and I work really well together. He's an excellent coach. He knows exactly how to motivate me, and we work really well together, so we can go really far, I think. I was very glad to be back with Mr. Brown. We work so well together, and we set our goals, and we reach most of them together.
And it is a very difficult thing to do, to choose coaches, to go back to an original coach and not step on egos. And Brandy Johnson has managed to do just that. She's very happy. We'll be back with more in a moment.
And we now have scored being posted.
Brandy Johnson and Lance Ringnold finished up in a tie for 6th place and as such become the 3rd team comprised of 2 Americans to advance to the 2nd round. Since the rule states that only 2 USA pairs may advance, Brandy and Lance, unfortunately, have been eliminated, but did finish technically in the top 6. Let's take a look at the USA tandem that will replace them. First, on the women's side, it is Shelley Stack.
Shelley had a great vault. She got a 9.8 for another round-off entry, layout Sukahara with a full twist. She took a little step at the end, but it was nice and crisp. Gets good lift off the board and into a very crisp twist. Sees the ground nice and early, takes a little step.
She is teamed with Wes Suter, who's on the floor.
Wes was an 88 Olympian and was a former NCAA all-around champion. Floor exercise is one of his best events. He started out on floor, got a good score, dismounting here with a double back flip. Takes a little step at the end, but it was a very fine performance, and that launched him into the next round.
And that gave them a combined score of 19.4, which actually tied them with Phoebe Mills and Pat Kirksey for 3rd place. Now, one of the other standout performances, and you'll see him in the final round, but you won't see this routine. That's why we're recording it for you now. Look at the P-bar set by Li Jing.
Now, this is Li Jing of China, similar to the name Li Ning, but a different gymnast. Incredible skill, a 1.5 forward somersault, catching on the back side of his arms on the bars. You could see the look on his face when he hit those bars.
And that stellar performance by Li Jing helped set up these results. His team, he's paired with Wendy Bruce, finished in 2nd behind the Soviet Union, followed by a tie by the USA's Phoebe Mills, Patrick Kirksey, Shelley Stack, and Wes Suter for 3rd place. The second panel shows the USA and Puerto Rico tandem of Bangerter and Tort finishing 5th. Brandy Johnson and Lance Ringwald are eliminated by virtue of the 2 USA rule, followed by Anodi, Horvath, Mermet, and Kauterman. Now, these are the teams that will advance. Rounding out the rest of the first round, it is Canada, Romania, and Cuba. We will be back with the second round, but first we have these messages. Stay with us here in Jacksonville, Florida, where the McDonald's International Mixed Pairs continues. Florida, I'm Leander Riley, along with Peter Vidmar. The McDonald's International Mixed Pairs is truly mixed in our next tandem. In some cases where representation from a country could not allow 2 athletes to compete, I guess you could say marriages were made by the United States Gymnastics Federation. We have an international tandem of Wendy Bruce in the United States. She is teamed with Jing from China. And anytime you have truly a mixed combination, they are from neither country, which is why you will see more USA athletes. They are not deemed USA athletes when they are teamed with.
Wendy is a teammate of Brandy Johnson's at Alamont Springs at Brown's Gymnastics. There's a beautiful high reverse hack. She's got a lot of power on her giants. There's a Jaeger, a front salto, down to the low bar. Shoot through, back up to the high bar. Do some last series of swings before her dismount. There's a giant. A lot of power on that giant. Very high double back. Good routine.
Now, in the first round, she vaulted and got a 9.725. This round, obviously, she opted for the uneven parallel bars. And talk about putting the pressure on yourself. In the third round, she opted for the balance beam. Not only do you have to hit a tough event, but when the money counts.
Must be your best event.
Again, she is paired with Jing. He is from the People's Republic of China. In the first round, you saw him on the parallel bars doing those saltos between the bars. In this round, he has opted to execute the vault. Now, the men were restricted to vaulting only in the second round, and that was for equipment purposes. So anybody who opts to vault must do so in this rotation.
And this is an unusual vault. We've been talking for so many years about the women doing the round-off entry vault. Jing is one of the first men I have ever seen even try the round-off entry vault. It's much more difficult because the horse is lengthwise. Here it is. Run-off on, layout, full twist, beautiful vault. Excellent. It's much more difficult than in women's gymnastics because you have to place your hands on a very, very narrow piece of horse.
But then to play devil's advocate, he's got the spring coming off the top because of that muscle mass and power, so it's a little bit easier in men's gymnastics.
It is, no question. I'll tell you what, I'm never going to do it.
Okay.
But Alexander Tikhonkin of the Soviet Union tried it once and really had a bad crash, and so they were concerned about men doing this vault. But you can see he did extremely well, a lot of height, and he's so powerful.
You're right, there is an inherent danger doing this vault because it is lengthwise. Now let's go back over to the high bar and take another look at Wendy Bruce, Jing's partner.
Beautiful front flip. Kips up to a handstand, throw it over the low bar. Now here's her dismount. She's got a very nice tap on the bottom of her giant swing. Very, very good.
9.65.
And the score for Wendy Bruce was 9.625 on uneven parallel bars. Jing received for his vault a 9.65. Their combined total is 19.325 for that rotation, giving them an overall total of 38.75, and that puts them out in front.
And boy, if they keep this going the way they are,